education.
Welcome to Possibilities.
Possibilities is a program that showcases the talents of persons with disabilities.
It's not the body that does it, but the brain that does it.
Possibility.
Possibilities. Possibility.
Possibilities.
Possibility.
Welcome to Possibilities. My name is Ave Akin. Possibilities is a program that showcases the talents and abilities of persons with disabilities. In today's episode, I have with me a very handsome young man who is going to take us in the world of the deaf. He's not actually a person with disability, but he works with persons with disabilities. Welcome, Mr. Peter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, how do you find yourself in the line of interpreting?
Yeah, thank you. I happen to find myself in world of interpreting as far back as year 2000, specifically, if I can remember.
Okay.
That was when I changed my educational system
Okay.
when I left Federal Polytechnic of Offa after the crisis between the indigenes and the students.
Okay.
Back to College of Education Special, the only special school in Sub-Saharan Africa,
Okay.
there at Oyo. I was opportune to be the school governor way back then in the year, and with that, as a school governor or a general rep, if I may say, I have no the option than to definitely relate with the disabled community as a whole at large.
Okay.
And you see, to make it easier for me, I have 21 departments and 7 schools under me. So
Wow.
what I did is this: each school have its own rep, and each department has their own course rep.
Okay.
So I divine a means like this that every so-called normal should meet their departmental rep, and if there's anything they cannot handle, go to your faculty. Let me use the word faculty. We call it school rep.
Yeah.
Meet them for your assistance.
Okay.
But I give every individual, anyone, person living with disability,
Okay.
a direct access to my office.
Okay.
Don't discuss with your departmental rep.
Come straight to
No
me.
discussion with your faculty
Heads.
rep. Head straight to my office. In fact, don't meet my vice or my PA.
Make sure you
one-on-one with me.
you. Okay.
And with this, in fact, to make it also, to narrow it down, I have to pack from my where I have my accommodation there in town back to the hostel.
Okay.
I started living right there in the hostel with them. All my things, and because I don't know, I just start deriving pleasure. I pick up interest and
Working
I
for
start
them.
deriving pleasure, and in fact, in the space of 3 weeks, I get
Okay.
myself so much adjusted to the system, and so easily I just flow.
Okay.
I just flow with it because I am so much welcome. They welcome me, and I feel at home, and I say no. It's not about being pity them. No, it's not
Okay.
about pity, because as a rehabilitator, as an oriented person, it's not about pity. No, it's about these people has the right for this thing to this thing and to have this.
Oh, okay, Mr. Peter. So since then, you have not looked back.
No, 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 no. I've not looked back. It's that after some years, in the course of my comradeship and struggling for life,
Okay.
I wanted to get deviated for some like a period of 2 to 3 years. But even in my period of diversification, anywhere I find myself, I still carry out my responsibility in the constituency of disability.
Okay.
I still carry out that.
Okay. So, Mr. Peter, what is your social life like?
Well, social life, I'm not the kind of this paparazzi social person. Sorry to say, anything outside football,
Okay.
sport. I'm a sport person, and I love so much,
Okay.
and I love boxing.
Okay.
In fact, at the time, maybe I would have been a street boxer.
Oh,
Just to
okay.
cut a joke, because I was being trained. I trained as a boxer, and I love football. I also play football. Though these days I can't play active football anymore, but I play what we call all-stars football, where I reside here in Abuja.
Oh, okay. Our viewers out there, this is where we go for a break. When we come back, Mr. Peter will be taking us much deeper into the disability community where he has been working for the past years. Thank you. Welcome back. We have been looking possibilities, and we mean today is Mr. Peter. Mr. Peter, how long does it take to learn how to interpret?
You see, on the issue of interpretation, first thing first,
Okay.
it brought on interest.
Oh,
It's the issue of mind.
yeah.
First thing first.
Okay.
To learn tapping, interpretation is also tapping.
Okay.
There is interpretation, there is communication, and there's total communication.
Okay.
So to learn this, it brought on your interest.
Okay.
And like I said earlier, I have to relocate for where I'm living back to the hostel
Okay.
where my people lives.
Okay.
So I live with them, I eat with them, I sleep with them, I do everything in common with them.
Okay.
That makes this easy for me. Interest first.
Yes.
And that makes it to become easy for me in getting myself adjusted to the system. Though I now start learning how to communicate, not interpreting.
Okay. Okay. So
I
there's
started
difference
learning-
between
there's a
interpreting
total-
and
there's a total
communicating.
difference. Interpreting brought on a lot of experience.
Okay.
Even up to today, for like 18 years in the field of practice, I'm still learning.
Okay.
I'm still learning.
Okay.
Still learning. So it's brought on interest. It brought on your interest, then your commitment,
Okay.
your vision. If anybody have ever told me that this will take me as far as this, it will give this to me, to make this to be possible for me, I would say no.
Okay.
But I don't look at the profit behind it. When I was starting, I only look at my commitment
To
to these
it.
people's community,
Okay.
which today I find myself. I do tell people it's just fortunate for me to be hearing or to be speaking. I
Okay.
am a deaf.
Okay. So, Mr. Peter, is it possible for you to interpret in the dark, as in when there is no light and stuff like that? Would these people be able to understand you? Or
You see,
how?
these are questions of practical realities.
Okay.
It's just as if as we are here now, and we can see with our eye.
Yes.
You can
yes.
see with your eye, and just let's say the source of power into the studio went off. The
Okay.
question is, the camera viewing us, will you be able to pick us on what we are doing? Definitely low. Knowing fully well, the only source of listening of these people is their eye. So
Okay.
why would I be saying I wanted to be communicating with them? In fact, in part of the ethics, that's another question that I think I'm supposed to quickly add to this before you ask me prior time. Let me be
Okay.
proactive to that. In part of the code of ethics to tapping, like what I'm putting on, because of the look at my skin and look at the color of my clothes.
Okay.
You can see there's a fighting between them. So, and something like this color where there's multicolor, it's not welcome in the world of interpreting. So the selection of clothes matters also in where the position and the community of where we are going to carry out our responsibility.
Oh, okay, Mr. Peter, how does the relationship between you, the interpreters, and the deaf, how is it? Is it a cordial relationship, or is it kind of a hostile relationship?
Yes, you see, that's a very good question that I think one must throw a much clarity into the head.
Okay.
of the interpreters, I don't know why. We ought to have a very good understanding, a very good and mutual relationship,
Okay.
which we do
Yeah.
actually, depend on the individual.
Okay.
Some interpreters probably, don't let me say interpreters, but those some that learn by virtue of opportunity. And my brother is a deaf. Mind you, I don't, like I said, I don't have a friend as as a disabled person or a deaf specifically.
Okay. Okay.
No friends, no family member, but I choose to do
To
this
work,
because
yeah.
of my interest.
Okay.
So now you see some people that they feel, I'm a god in this, I'm a lord, you worship me. If you don't, if I don't interpret for you, you cannot hear. If I no, trash that.
Okay.
Trash that completely. Trash that. You have to be loyal to a deaf person. A deaf person will be
Has to.
submissive to you.
Okay.
It is issue of give and take.
Okay.
I don't see myself as a god. He
Okay.
don't see himself as no. Without me, I need you.
You need me. Wash my back. I wash your back. Okay.
You lean on me.
I lean on you. Okay. Okay, Mr. Peter, is there any ethics among interpreters? Is there that body you must belong to before you become an interpreter?
Yes. When we are like it is being practiced in the well-civilized world, where we have so-called professional, certified interpreters.
Okay.
There are ethics of relationship among the tappers.
Okay.
Ethics of relationship. You know, take for instance, I as an educationalist, they called me, Ambassador, Comrade, Peter, come and go and interpret for us in social field of discipline.
Okay.
Knowing fully well, this is a discipline with my like 18 years of experience in the field. Knowing fully well that, okay, if I'm going into social field of practice, I'm not going to make anything out of it.
Okay.
The person that I'm going to communicate to, he or she may not be a beneficiary.
Okay.
So of what benefit will I say, okay, let me go into that? Definitely, I need to look for a professional colleague that is good, probably.
In that
As a as an art student,
yeah.
from the art background.
Okay.
So things that has to do with education, religious setting, governmental setting, social setting, and all that, I can perform excellently well.
Okay.
Take me to court of law, take me to any other, I can do effectively well.
Okay.
But now pick me up and say, come and go and be things that has to do with physics, chemistry. I need to be trained in that field again.
Yeah, you're right.
So I will not be able to function effectively in that field.
You're
I need
right.
Another orientation.
Okay, so Mr. Peter, you have been with the disability community for a very long time, and I know you have met a lot of successful people who are disabled and are doing so well. So what message do you have to those disabled persons who are on the streets begging?
Like the community itself, the organization of people living with disability itself, frown against street begging.
Okay.
Frown against using your nature of disability to extort people.
Okay.
The government, the religion body also strictly and strongly frown at it.
Yeah, you're
That
right.
is why we have a look. We have, should I say, a motto that in disability
there is ability.
there is an ability.
Yes, you're right.
When you look up to those that have risen up to a person like Alhaji Nauche, permanent secretary,
Yeah.
a person like Lawrence Indemudia, a person like Dr. Tola Odusanya, a person like Alhaji Dago, a senior lecturer in Federal College of Education, a person like a senior lecturer at University of Calabar, a person like Kenen, a lecturer. When we look at all these people, then what can you say of yours that you now put a signboard, I am a deaf, please help me?
Help me, honestly.
What value are you adding to yourself?
Nothing.
When people wanted to address those people, they address them with dignity.
Yes.
But when people wanted to address you, how will they talk to
with
you?
pity.
So don't let people pity you. What you need is not pity. No. Take the bull by the horn.
Okay.
Face up the challenge and move on with your life.
Mr. Peter, it has been a very interesting time with you. Hope when next we call you, you'll be glad to meet us again.
Definitely.
Thank you, audience out there. It has been a very interesting episode with Mr. Peter. This is where we draw the curtains for today's Possibilities show. Do well to join us same time, same station next week. Thank you.